Good morning, everyone. So happy that you are able to make it. Today we have a special guest in the house, and we would like to enjoin everyone to please let's make sure that we enjoy this event of today. I'm going to be sharing my screen once again. Please, those of us who have not done the pre-evaluation, please, you need to do that. And then after the event, you also do the same. So please look at everyone. I have my screen on, and that is it. So it's linke.to/AmCenter Lagos feedback. So you fill now the pre-evaluation, pre-event evaluation, and then we move on to the other one after. We are so excited today to be hosting the May edition of the Employability webinar. And today, we'll be talking about turning your professional skills to profit. Turning your professional skills to profit. And to help us meet the guest speaker for today, we have our director in Abuja, American Center, that's Mrs. Grace Lamore, to please introduce our guest for today. Over to you, Grace.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'll be reading our facilitators bio quickly. So Mrs. Josephine Folorunso-Gasper is a dynamic leader redefining how young people connect with knowledge, technology, and opportunity. As the AmSpaces Program Coordinator at the US Consulate General Lagos, she brings over 20 years of experience at the intersection of information, innovation, and digital transformation. An alumna of the University of Ibadan and a certified librarian, Josephine has built a reputation as a forward-thinking information professional with expertise in library innovation, data management, information brokerage, consultancy, and integrated technology systems. Driven by a passion for impact, she has transformed traditional libraries into vibrant, technology-powered knowledge hubs where learning, creativity, and innovation thrive. As an infopreneur and strategic leader, Josephine continues to inspire the next generation by shaping the future of information practice and leading impactful programming across the AmSpaces Nigeria network. Thank you very much.
So a round of applause for Ms. Josephine. So you're welcome. I don't know whether you want to add to what has been read, Josephine. Please, if you want, you can add to that. And after which you can go ahead with your short presentation. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm so happy to be here this morning to share from the experience that I have on the topic that we have this morning on turning your professional skills to profit. Grace, thank you for that introduction. And I think you said almost what I would have loved to say, and that is fine by me. So let's go to our session this morning, because as much as possible, I want to have an engaging session, even with the audience in all our spaces. Forward disable at my hand.
Can you share now?
Mm.
Can you share the screen now?
Yeah, I'm trying to share now. Okay. So, like we mentioned earlier, our topic for this morning is turning your professional skills to profit. So, I would like to say before we go to the slides that most of us, we are sitting on a wealth of knowledge that we might not be aware of. That little thing that you think you do at your place of work or anywhere where you are engaged is a skill that can earn you a lot, a lot. So, turning your professional skills to profit, you can transform your expertise into income by starting to use the skills that you have garnered over time, by using it even to make so much income. So let me give you an example. When the first role that I was engaged in, it happens that I was able to learn how to relate with people, how to talk to people. And I never knew that that was a skill that was required for service, customer service. And over time, I've seen this skill has helped me in my professional journey. So, why your skills are valuable? Why are your skills valuable? As a professional, you have been trained. You already have what it takes to build a profitable side income. The skills that you have garnered over the years in your profession, you can use it to solve everyday problem. Communication is also part of the skills that you have been able to gathered. Then you have the expertise in your field, and those are exactly what others need, and they will pay for it. Your experience is an asset that is waiting to be monetized. Take, for instance, you are a lawyer, and being a lawyer comes with so much of these skills. You learn to communicate with your clients, you learn to solve their legal problems. Same method, same way you are doing that, you can translate that skill to solve other day-to-day problem. What you just need to know is that these skills that you have acquired is not only streamlined to your profession, you can use it in other fields that people are willing to pay for, and they are ready to pay for that money. I know that for that skill. I know that also in legal profession. Don't mind me because I work a while in a law firm, so I have a background of some of the things that they do. Um, that skill of solving problem, there's something they learn when they are studying law. I think it's logic. They learn about logic. And when people approach you for problem that isn't outside the legal profession, they use that logical reasoning to understand what the people's problem is or what the person's problem is, and they are able to apply legal methods to solve this problem. So you can just imagine you carry the same skill that you have, take it to outside. Maybe somebody is running a small business and is looking for a way around a particular problem that needs solution in that field or area of endeavor. As a lawyer that has a background in logic, reasoning, problem solving that you're applying to your legal profession every day, I'm just giving an instance. You can take that same skill into that entrepreneur's problem and use it to solve it. So the skills that we have acquired in our profession are things that we can carry on to other areas and that can give us side income aside from our 9 to 5 job. Then key skills you can monetize. You can go into the area of consulting. You can share your expertise one on one with clients who need guidance because you are skilled. Take, for instance, somebody that is into accounting or financial management. You can run a consultancy firm where you use your skill to empower people or to solve the problems that businesses are facing, big organization, conglomerates. You can bring in your expertise into this area and solve problem. I give you an example. There is a man that is so skilled in financial management. What did he say he was going to do? Real life experience. This man was working in a bank before, but he left banking job. And what he's doing is he approaches organizations and tells them, let me help you to look into your account. And if I'm able to see anything, because he has been in the system, he knows what goes on in the system. So he said, I look at the charges that the bank is charging you, I will help. If I'm able to help you to recover so amounts of money that were deducted that were not supposed to be deducted, you will pay me a percentage of the money recovered. And that's all he does. And the man makes a lot of money because most of us, we don't have time to check through our statements. Then you can imagine if as individuals we don't have that luxury of time. Now you can imagine um companies, big conglomerates, and he sits with it and is able to recover a lot of money for them. He was able to get that skill because he had worked in that field before. So the advantage to you is you are still in that profession, whichever profession you are in, and you know the intricacies of your profession. You have deep insight on how things run in your chosen field. So you can decide to branch into consulting in that area. And as you are helping businesses or organization, you are also making profit, making money from it. Then you can also do freelancing. You can offer your skills on a project basis to multiple clients. Technology has made so many things easy in our days now. So you can offer freelancing. You can offer your skills. You can Maybe somebody is trying to set up a business and you've been in a place where you were in the startup. You know all the things that are needed to start up a business, registering, doing search of a business name, registering. You have people in that network. You can leverage on that network and do a freelance and you get paid for that. Then we also have teaching. You can create courses or workshop to educate others. Maybe in your chosen field, you have expertise, you have been practicing for more than 10 years in that profession. You can look at gray areas that nobody is talking about or touching. You can begin to create courses in those areas for people in the same profession, or if you think it is something that is needed outside the profession. I also have a real example. I know of sorry, I'm mentioning lawyers lawyers today. I know of somebody that is into the legal practice. As at then, he was about 15 years or close to 20 years in the practice. What did he do? Aside from going to court, practicing litigation and all those stuff, he decided, he saw a gap in the in law school students, that there are some aspects that they were not familiar with, and he decided to take it up on himself. In his office, he opened a side, like a classroom, where he was taking uh, law students in law courses. I mean, the courses they take in the law school. And when he was discussing with us, if you hear the amount he was charging, and people were ready to pay. At a point, he said it was even more lucrative than his litigation job, because he already had a grasp of how things run, even in the legal education and for students in the law area. So you can look at your area of specialization. I mean, the profession that you are in. Look at the gaps. Look at the things that are missing, that nobody is touching, nobody is paying attention to, and you can take it up, and that can be another way of making profit. Then we have digital products. You can build templates. You can do guides or tools that sell while you sleep. You can build apps. A lot of people are building apps, and you don't need to touch anything. You just throw it there. As much as people are using that app, money is entering your account. Then, what are the barriers to turning skills into profit? What are the barriers? We have barriers. Time management. You need to learn how to balance your day job with your side projects. And this requires discipline. So, and thankfully, we have so many tools now that can help you to manage your time. I mean, technology driven tools that can help you. You can use Google Calendar. You can use it to arrange your appointments, your work, and the things that you need to focus on. We also have Google Keep. It can also be of great help to you. Then we have pricing confidence. Pricing confidence. When you know your worth and you are charging accordingly, it takes practice over time. Your worth will determine the charges that you charge people that you work for. There was a particular time that I was into consulting, and I was charging per hour. I was charging per hour by reason of the work that I was doing at that particular time, the experience that I brought into it, and in my area of practice, which is information practice. And initially, when we were negotiating, because you also need, is also a skill, you need to learn how to negotiate for the worth that you are bringing into what you have to offer. So when we're negotiating initially, they were asking, why do they need to pay, number one, per hour? Why do they need to pay, that amount of money? So the person that referred me, and that's why relationship is very important, and the work that you do in your 9 to 5 is also very important, that you are professional, and excellence is always showing in the work that you do. People pay for excellence. Anywhere people see excellence, they pay for it. They are willing to pay for it. So I just explained to them. I said, this is what is on ground. It's just like there is nothing, there is zero. So I'm supposed to start building that. Is actually a library, building that library from scratch to standard. So I told them, this is what I can offer you. This is, and this and this and this are what will be done. And they told me they've gotten so many people in time past that have said they will do this. And I said, don't pay me yet. Give me, give me 1 week or 2 weeks. Then you will see what I'll be able to do. Then you can decide if you will pay what I'm asking for or you will not pay. So that was how we started. And before the end of 1 week, they saw a drastic change in the place. So they were even willing to give me more. So if you know your worth, you know what you are bringing to the table, people will be willing to pay whatever you charge them. Then finding clients could also be a barrier to turning your skills into profit. You have to build a client base from scratch. Sometimes it might be daunting, but most times the work that you have done or that you are doing speak for you. I still go back to people in the legal profession. You see, most times referral works for them. Maybe you have done a particular case or you have solved a problem for a client and somebody else is looking for someone to help. They will ask and the person will refer, say, try this person. Then if you are a member of your professional association, you also get referral. You are able to also build a client base. Then your community too. And that's why it's very important to do good work. When I say good work, you are very professional and you deliver excellence in the work that you do. And that helps you to get referrals, to build your client base. Last week, we had a program, even on the network, which was a conversation with an alum. And our guests that they said something that is very important. He said, free is the new currency. Free is the new currency. When you are also just starting, you can do free service. I've done free service before. In fact, initially I was doing free service. I just see a problem that is related to my area. I know I'm supposed to do information brokerage on that. There's an aspect of information practice that they call information brokerage. I'm supposed to do information brokerage and it's supposed to cost a lot of money, but I volunteer that leave it, I'll take it up, I'll do it, and I do it for free. And when people see the work that you have done for free, they are willing to pay you or to recommend you to somebody that we pay what they're supposed to have paid and what you should earn at that particular point in time. So you must be able to look for a way to build your client base. And these are some of the ways that you can do that. Then building credibility. Establishing trust without a track record take a strategic effort. You have not worked for anybody before. People want to know that the work that you will do will be credible, that they can fall back on it and they will not have a problem with it. So you need to be strategic to be able to build credibility. Very, very important. You need to look for a way to make sure that people can trust you. And that's part of the one of the things that I just mentioned, that by doing free service for people, pro bono, like the legal people call it, and before you know it, and that's what some of the people that are on in this content creation industry, that's one of the things they are doing. Some will volunteer to go and speak somewhere or do masters of ceremony, and it will draw people to them, because by the time they get to that occasion and they are doing master of ceremony, maybe it's free, They will come with their business card and share it, in that party. Before you know it, people will begin to invite them to come and present for them. So then, getting started, how can you start to begin to make your profession, to turn your professional skills to profit? You must be ready to turn your skills into income. You must start by identifying what is your niche. That's the starting point. What unique expertise? And I would like us to do that before we leave, those of us in our spaces, before we leave today. I want you to write the things that separate you from other people. What is unique about you in your profession? What are the skills that you have discovered over time or that people have mentioned to you that is outstanding about you? Write it out. That is the starting point. Then you need to research your market, the people that you want to, your target audience, the people that you want to market your skills to. You need to research, and you should be able to set competitive rates that reflect your value. Most times, I see that people easily pay for products. Over time, I've discovered that as a professional, people like to pay for products. But when it comes to service, people underprice service because they cannot see what they want to pay for. They will be asking you, you say, I want to do this work for you, and this is the amount I'm charging, the fee. They will tell you, why must I pay you this amount of money? you know so people try to undervalue professional skills. So you should be able to set competitive rates. And another thing that I've come to discover is that when you give good service, people are willing to pay. The next time you tell them, this is the amount, this is the fee that I'm charging. So I also want to say here, never undervalue your skills and your service. Don't undervalue yourself. If you know you have what it takes to deliver, and you have that value, give the give a set a competitive fee for your service. Then create your first offer. Don't be afraid. I always tell myself, what they will say is no. So by the time you go to like 10 people, you can never tell. Two people can say yes, and that's a good starting point. So never give up, and never say, I'm afraid to step out. So don't be afraid to step out. Create your first offer, a clear, compelling service package that solves a specific problem rather. Then start small, deliver exceptional results, and let your work speak for itself. Do you know to plan a program is a skill? To plan an event is a skill. You have been planning small office events, and you see that at the end of the day, everything goes well and perfectly okay. You can think of you can approach do you know companies also organize retreats. So if you have been doing it at a small level in your office, you can think of how you can approach organizations. Say, this is what I can do for you. I can get a location for your retreat, your year annual retreat. I can help you to organize refreshments and accommodation. And you tell them what you have done, those free services that you have delivered in time past, and what you know that you can achieve if they are able to trust you, and you can deliver for them. So I want to enjoin us that we should start today. Start today. Don't procrastinate. Don't delay. Don't be afraid. Your skills are waiting to work for you. You are limiting your skills. Those skills that you have, don't limit it only to your 9 to 5. Take the first step now. You can take the first step. Be rest assured that definitely you will make a headway. And sometimes some people drop their 9 to 5 job to go and face their professional skills when it begin to earn them more money. Thank you.
Can we put our hands together for her? I can only see Abuja clapping. Abeokuta, you're not clapping at all. What's the problem? I don't need to force you, but I think it's worth it for us to clap our hands for her. She has really, please can you minimize um your presentation, Josephine? Thank you. Look, what you are getting from this session is what people go for seminars to pay thousands of naira. And so one more time for giving us these secrets of turning your skills to profit. Let's put our hands again together, not by force now. Put your hands together, everybody, put your hands together. Thank you, Josephine. We have about 28 minutes. We like us to maximize this. Please, I don't want you to say thank you for the presentation. In fact, it has changed my life. I want you to go straight to point. So if you have any question, you have the opportunity, raise your virtual hand up, and then I will identify you. This is also streaming live. Those of you who are watching us, either from our Facebook page or on our social media, other social media platforms. We're also on YouTube right now. Please make sure you indicate, and then we're going to allow you to ask a question. If you know you cannot, then type it into the chat boxes of any of those platforms. Josephine, I, I want to ask a personal question. I have skills and I want to follow what you have said. But how do I know which people are actually interested in the skills that I have? You know, I see people come around and then we talk. So how do I, especially the paying customers, because there were people who are just customers but not real customers. Those are people who go from window to window. Look, they call them window shoppers. They will do window shopping. How do I really get this audience or customers that can pay even for my services? So while we wait for people to raise their hand, over to you.
Okay. So how would you know people that will pay? The skills that you have, they are solving a particular problem. So your target customers are those people with the problem with your skills. The skills that you have, the specialization that you have, the people that have the problem that your skills can solve, they are the right customers. Because anybody that has a problem is looking, a problem is a problem, and the person is looking for solution. So if you can give them the solution, they will be willing to pay.
Thank you very much. We go to Abuja. Abuja, you are muted already. Please go ahead. Then we'll come back to American Center, Lagos.
Okay. Good morning. My question is, we talked about barriers to turning skills into profits, and one of it is building credibility, which establish trust. So I want to ask, how can one sustain credibility for a long term? Because I know some people, once they build that trust, maybe they have an organization or themselves as an individual. After 3 to 4 years, before you know, that credibility drops. They are not the same. For example, there used to be a fast food, that we have in Nigeria here. They got all the credibility, everybody, patronize them. But along the line, they started giving franchise to different people. And then it was not the same again. So how can we sustain this credibility for a very long time that we don't just go back to, how we used to be before? Thank you.
Thank you. So one of the ways you can sustain credibility is by consistently doing exceptional work. Consistently. You must make sure that the quality does not drop. Even if you are giving franchise to people, you must tell them what your brand stands for, what you are known for, and you must never compromise on that. You must make sure that your work is not watered down. So that's one of the ways of sustaining credibility. Don't compromise on excellence. I
Thank
don't know
you
if
very
that
much.
answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like the um, participant at American Center, please, if you can click on mute on the screen, and then you ask your question. American Center, Lagos, just click. All right, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amy Sarah Mobi from American Corner, Lagos. My question is, at what point in your career do you move from free services, in that free is a new currency, or you move from free services to competitive fee that reflects your worth? Sometimes starting free and getting that confidence to begin to charge can be quite
All
challenging.
right. Your audio is not fine, but at least you are here with the speaker. So the speaker heard you. If you can just repeat the question,
Okay.
speaker, and then answer the question. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the question from American Center Lagos is, when do you move from free service to charging for your skills? So I'll say the free I'm talking about is just to build a base, a client base. It's not going to be something that will be forever. Originally, you know that you can do exceptional work. You know you have the skills, but you just want to make sure that you have enough client base to run. And don't forget, this particular one is a session that we are having is for people that have a stable job. I mean, you have a 9 to 5 job. This is just a side, kind of a side hustle for you using your skills. So, as you are trying to build your client base, you have a regular job that is paying you what you need to live, a living wage. Then you do free to make sure that you get enough people to buy into your profession, I mean your skills, and to be able to patronize you. Peradventure, you decide to leave your 9 to 5 job. So you just work, not all the time, just sometimes, free basis. And it's not everybody that will come to you that will want you to do free job for them, because they know you are a skilled person in your profession. I don't know if that answers your question. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Again, let me add that even most of the software that we use that are called
Mm, yeah.
freemium, what they do is that they will give you a bait.
Mhm.
You try it for some time. Once it becomes part of you, boom, they increase and they introduce the fees. The most recent AI platform that did that is Grok. Grok gave everybody opportunity of doing graphics, images, videos, and everybody got involved. And as we were enjoying it, boom, one day, just introduced the fees. And one way or the other, people found a way of paying for that. So what the speaker is saying is, look, why can't you just put yourself out there? Let people know your worth. Show them. And then when it comes to a point, you start telling them, I run generator to do this, even the legs, there's leggedies I need to put fuel into my tummy in order to walk to your place or take a boat and so on. All right, so we go back to Calabar, then Unilag, Abeokuta, Ibadan, and then we'll come back to Abuja. Calabar, over to you. Straight to question, straight to point.
Okay, thank you very much for this wonderful section. My question is on pricing confidence. Now, when it comes to family, how do you build your confidence when giving your price? Because in family, most of them might have helped you in achieving that goal, that business. Overshoot yourself. Thank you.
Were you able to get the question?
No, I didn't get it.
All right. So it's saying that how do you, do your pricing of your product in such a way that you don't overshoot yourself and you don't underprice yourself?
Okay, so I said when I was sharing the slide that you should study your competitors. You should have a background knowledge of people that are in the profession that you are, people that are. Do you want to say something? You need to unmute.
So, for underpricing, not to shoot yourself or overshoot yourself when
Okay,
it comes to family, when your family requests for your services and you know very well that those family helped you up in building up your business. Thank you.
family, family and friends. Initially, let me even tell you that family and friends, we use them to climb in in any business. You use your family and friends to climb, so there should be something they are willing to do for you. If you don't want to pay, if they don't want to pay the exact amount, they should be able to tell others. They should be able to bring clients to you. That's also a form of payment. Do you understand? So is there's a way you run a business that is like give and take. So you should be willing to do some service, render some services for them, while they are also willing to bring people to come and patronize your
In other
business.
words,
So, but when you are dealing with outsiders, over time there's something I've come to realize. If you have an idea of what is obtainable in your field of business, I mean, what competitors are looking at or how much they charge, you should come to a middle line, but make sure you don't undervalue yourself. Because most times people think, especially in the service sector, most people think if you are offering me a cheaper rate, that means your service is not top notch. You understand? And people will not, if they want to refer people that will pay you for what you do, they will not refer them to you, because they will feel the amount you are charging is too low for that service. They will rather take it to people that are charging in millions. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say. Make sure you understand your field, your market, what your competitors are charging. Then make sure your own price is not so low below those people. And people in competitive markets like this minerals, soda, they do some of these things. Make sure that you don't shoot yourself in the foot. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
in other words, if your brother is saying, let me do something for me, you may not charge as much, but your brother should be able to do something else. Okay? Promote your system for business, for rent, and so on. We go straight to Unilag. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. Unilag, over to you.
Okay, so my question is,
You are muted.
let's say you have a teaching skill. So depending on the client you are trying to teach, this person might be very not knowledgeable at all. So if you have a fixed price that you are giving, let's say I do personal branding like LinkedIn optimization and all of that. So if there's this person that probably can make use of AI tools, ChatGPT and all of that, and there's somebody that doesn't even know anything about it, person is still on WhatsApp. So if you want to give a price, how do you navigate through? And there's somebody that is still very seasoned. I don't know if one price will answer all, and if the person gets to know that this price was different from this one, it might look like they are not legit. So how do you do that?
So
Okay.
you are not teaching all of them together in a classroom. So I'm
Yes, yes,
assuming
just
you
a
are doing
person.
like home service, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? The first lady, Unilag,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
please come back so that I can understand your question. So there are different people at different places.
Yes, yes.
So the work you are doing on the person that does not know the use of AI at all is much more than the people somebody that already had the knowledge. So definitely you cannot charge them the same price. Do you understand? So you are the one, and that's one of the problems that we have with service. I've already mentioned it. When you are using your skill, so you need to be able to gauge it. And there's a way you can also do tutorials on pricing in the service industry. It will also help you to be able to understand the intricacies of pricing.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll move quickly to Abeokuta before we come back to Unilag.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Here's my question. How do you manage your time when it comes to the aspect of you working with multiple clients? And you see that it's not like shocking to you one, and it's also probably affecting, you trying to improve yourself in other things. How do you balance the work and the client?
Thank you. That's okay.
So take, for instance, you are a student, and I actually want to speak to students in the house. When I was in school, particularly in Unilag, I was studying and I was also doing business. You will wonder how I was able to cope. So what I do is to manage my time. I have lectures 8 to 4 every day. But when I come back in the evening, if it's not the evenings that I have social engagement, I've already stick on my door the time you can approach me to patronize me. Do you understand? So don't take more than you can chew. Don't take, because when the money starts rolling in, you might be tempted to take more than you can bite. So if you know that you cannot sustain the number of clients that you have, still keeping your 9 to 5 job or still staying as a student, you need to look at how either you leave the job and go and face that's your business that you are doing with your professional skills.
All right. Ibadan. Thank you. Then Uyo, then we'll go back to Abuja and then Unilag.
Right, sir. My question. So how are you going to be able to confuse your client to be able to accept and appreciate your prices of your skill? Convince?
I didn't get that question.
We didn't get that. Please, can you move close to the laptop and speak to us, please?
I said, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Go ahead.
How can I be able to convince, and let clients accept my skills for the prices like I have placed on them?
Before the client approach you, they must have seen something that you have done before for them to come and meet you that we want you to do this work for us. So your work should be able to convince them that they should pay you the amount you are asking for. Then confidence is also very important. I mentioned it. Self-worth and confidence. Very, very important. You should be convincing people is also a skill that you need to learn. to be able to convince that this, and truthfully, not, some people, they pad things, and they have sugar coated tongue. They can say what they cannot do. Very good in marketing, but you should be able to convince them truthfully that this is what I've been able to do in time past. You show them your work. You can mention some of the organizations that you have worked for on these particular skills and what they've been able to achieve. And I'm sure that they should be able to pay you what you are asking, if it is within the market range. I mean, what other competitors are also offering.
And in addition, you can also have your profile, your social media profile, where you post some of the things you've done in the past. So you can just refer them to it. So we go to Huyo, then Abuja, and then Unilag, and then we'll wrap up. Oh, I also see Enugu. Then we'll do Enugu last. Huyo, unmute yourself, please. Move closer, move closer, move closer. Don't be shy.
Okay, my question is this: how do I effectively research my market? And in the case where, as a beginner, I don't have a reputation, maybe if I'm going into freelancing, I don't have a reputation in that field. How do I intend to do it?
Start with your friends. So let me ask you, what are you trying to solve? What problem are you trying to solve?
Digital problems. Problems where you build products that will solve the user's problem.
Like, give an example. I just want to use it.
Like building applications.
For what?
For any business at all. As far as
no, what in particular? What? Just give us an app.
Something specific.
Let's say like Glovo. We have an app like Glovo that what they solve basically is easing the pressure of people. So in my case, if I want to venture into that kind of business where I will build an application like that and I don't have a reputation yet, what are the steps I need to take?
So I didn't hear that particular application that you spoke about.
It's talking about Glovo.
Novo.
Glovo, where you can book
for
your food.
Distribute food. Okay, so what you will do, Uyo, you are on campus, right? Yes. So you can start from your friends. Can start say, I have something that can help deliver food to your rooms. Are you with me? So let them start booking on that your app that you have created. So once they start booking, you cannot use app without paying now. So you start from that, your small community. From there, you'll be able to tell other companies, maybe that are into courier service, I can build an app for you that can deliver, that can do logistics within the university. You can even approach the university that I can do an app, I can build an app that can deliver letters, do logistic service for you. So from there, you begin to build credibility, and you'll be able to have people that will come and patronize you. Yes, sir.
All right. We'll go straight to Abuja before we go to Unilag and Enugu. Abuja, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Prof, there is no question again.
Oh, I saw your hand up. Unilag. Unilag. Any question? Unmute yourself, please.
Good morning. I have two questions actually. So the first question goes like this: why do some highly skilled individuals fail financially? Why average skilled individuals build influence and wealth? Then second one goes: how can a person determine whether their skill solves a temporal problem or an external human need?
Okay, so the first one, why do skilled people, in life, you also ask that question. Let me ask you, why do first class people not get a very good job sometimes, most times? So, there's something about, I don't know how, I'm trying to see the best way to say it. You need to know how to use what you have, the skills you have. You need to know how to monetize it. And that's why we are in this session this morning. So you have the skill is dormant, but you need to steer it. You need to make use of it. You need to see how you can explore it and deploy it to serve humanity. So the second question, sorry, just mention the first line, I'll remember.
How can a person determine whether their skill can solve a temporal problem or eternal human need?
You have to put it to use to be able to know whether it will solve the problem. So until you put it to use, then you will know whether it will be external or long term or short term.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions from Enugu. First one is, can credibility alone create opportunities, or must people intentionally learn visibility and networking to succeed in today's world?
Visibility is very important. Visibility is very important. Then credibility is important too. Because if you are visible, but you don't have credibility, nobody will want to continue in business with you or to work with you. Then networking is very critical because that fits your client base regularly. You are not short of people to do business with.
What do you think is the greatest mistake young people make when trying to turn their passion and skill into income?
They are very quick to look for gains before
Correct.
putting in the work. They are looking at the monetary aspect first, but it doesn't work that way in the business world. So you need to be patient. The money will come later, but you need to be patient. It takes a while.
Okay, but what is more valuable in the long run? Mastering one skill deeply or being versatile across many skills, especially in today's challenging world?
It depends on your capacity. Some people have capacity to learn multiple skills at a time, and they'll be able to function well in it. And some, you can only learn maybe one or two and master it at a time. So whatever your capacity is, if you know you can learn multiple, it's just like, it's a common saying, they say women are multitaskers. So we also have people that can learn a lot of skills at the same time and they can master them very good, exceptional at those skills. So if you understand your person, you know yourself, just do according to your capacity, what you know you can manage.
And with that, we come to the end of today's event. Can we put our hands together for our speaker today? I'm not seeing your hand. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Thank you very much, Ms. Josephine Folorunso-Gasper. It has been a wonderful session, and I believe that all of us, we picked one or two things from this session. Let me be frank with you. What you have learned today is what many frontline rich people have done. And I will give example of Mark Zuckerberg, the owner and founder of Facebook. Most of what Josephine described was what he did. And finding people, all he did was he just did a social network to be used on the campus, and from this campus to the next campus. And when he discovered that this was gaining ground, he bolted out of school. You see, started free, but when he saw the feasibility and the possibility, he decided to abandon the education. I don't say you should abandon your education, but he went ahead and he made these platforms. He bought some, and he's the one that is the owner of the largest network in the world. So I encourage all of you to please do something. Don't just listen, don't just share. And I want you to please help us fill this form one more time. Please, everybody, let's go to this link again and click on post-event evaluation. Post-event evaluation. Thank you very much. We're so happy that you joined us today. And we're going to wait a little while for you to do the filling of the form, and after which we're going to stop the program. Please help us fill the form quickly. Have you copied? It's link.to/AmCenter Lagos feedback.